Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. We haven't seen Meg Ryan on the big screen in 8 years. She was the queen of the rom-coms and makes a welcome return to the genre with What Happens Later. It's in theaters and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Meg Ryan is both in front of the camera and behind the camera with What Happens Later. She directed and co-wrote the film, which is based on the play Shooting Stars by Stephen Dietz. Now, Ryan's character, Willa Davis, is stuck at a small regional airport due to some big, heavy storms. And there she runs into William Davis, who's played by David Duchovny. Now, both of them share the W. Davis name, but that's not all. They were once lovers and haven't seen each other in decades. Both are headed to Boston, but find themselves stuck at this airport after flights get grounded due to the heavy storms. The film becomes a back and forth between these two axes as they drudge up the past about what went wrong and all the what-ifs in between. Meg Ryan shares writing credits with playwright Stephen Dietz and Kirk Lynn, and they really have kept the intimacy of the play intact while keeping this really a two-person story. Now, yes, there are other passengers that we see kind of fluttering throughout the airport, but the only other character that we really know is this voice of a gate agent who is treated more like a heavenly spirit or a voice of conscience type of presence to them by saying things like look up or hustle or other nudges that are really unrelated to I would say airport gate protocols. Now, What Happens Later doesn't try to reinvent the rom-com genre, but there's a different angle here with them being old flames, reconnecting in that magical place that is an airport. A film like this doesn't need to do anything different as long as you have two leads that can just sell the material. And Meg Ryan and David Duchovny do just that. And yes, you'll be inclined to question whether William should have been played by Tom Hanks to reunite him with Meg Ryan all these years after Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail, but the Duchovny casting really allows What Happens Later to really just stand on its own then. David Duchovny and Meg Ryan's chemistry together is very easy and believable as one-time lovers who are just torn away. The history does get explored throughout the film with some big reveals in the second half. She's this energy healer and life coach while he's a businessman who lives in the practical, pragmatic side of life. Their relationship was when they were both in their 20s, and they're just very different people now. It escalates pretty quickly into the negative headspaces between them, but there's plenty of levity between these arguments. Now, this is still a rom-com after all, and not marriage story. We see Willa and Bill joke around, get drunk, and poke a little fun at each other along the way. And you can feel the easiness between the two actors, which makes this film work. Meg Ryan takes a gentle approach behind the camera, both trusting herself and Duchovny to really carry the film. You'll notice some nice long takes where the camera just sits on them without cutting too much. There's an intimacy and connection between them like you'd expect in the play that's easily translated on screen. And Meg Ryan dedicates the film to her longtime friend and collaborator, Nora Ephron. Now, if you're looking for a relatable rom-com about all those what-ifs that we tell ourselves about our exes, What Happens Later should fit the bill nicely. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got to interview Meg Ryan and David Duchovny thanks to a SAG-AFTRA agreement, so check out that interview. It was so lovely talking to both of them. They couldn't have been nicer. They were such a delight together. Paul's Trip to the Movies is brought to you by Imagine Theaters. Tickets are on sale for What Happens Later, so make sure to go see it in the theaters at Imagine Theaters. And maybe if you don't like rom-coms, go check out Killers of the Flower Moon, Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour, Five Nights at Freddy's, and a bunch of other fall movies. Tickets are now on sale. And tickets are on sale for my movie series, Paul McGuire Grimes Presents, coming up November 26th. It's The Big Chill, a great movie about friendships, endearing friendships in the face of tragedy. And then in December, we're going to close out the year with the Judy Garland classic, Meet Me in St. Louis. Tickets are on sale through March. I got movies picked out through March, so go to their website to see what those titles are. I do a discussion after every one of these screenings, and it's so great to talk to everyone about what they think of these movies, seeing them back on the big screen again. So follow them on social media at ImagineMN. Thank you so much for watching my review of What Happens Later. This is Paul's trip to the movies.